this is the authentic kit, right? So it's got, I don't know if you can see it, but the USL Championship badge patch is actually new for 2023. It's a little bit more condensed. It doesn't have the championship portion at the bottom of the patch. We've got obviously the Toros badge stays being the holographic. You guys, if you guys have been following me for all these years, you guys know how much I love this patch, how much I love this crest, and I hope it never they never change it. This is actually a coral. Officially, it's called Fiery Coral by Puma, and it's got a design here on the sleeves. We've got, I guess you can say, you call it a pixelated black background, and these little green markings you see here, these are all arrows. These are all arrows pointing, I want to say they're pointing down this way. But overall, I think it looks really, 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 really good. I think it's something completely different. I feel like RGV FC dared to go bold with something different. The last 2 years, it's been white kits. Last year's white kit, I loved it because it was a custom template. So yes, hold on, let me lift this. Yes, Reliant is back. I know I'm not the best model out there, right? So forgive my lonjas. But yes, Reliant is back. It is actually screen printed once again on the jersey. In the back, you've also got Lone Star National Bank, also screen printed. But you guys have probably noticed there is no sponsor on the right sleeve. Last year, it was Texas Federal Wellness was the sponsor. And from what it looks like, TFC is not coming back for 2023 as a sponsor. The short is the Texas Vodka, or Live Oak Texas Vodka is coming back on the shorts. And but overall, I think the biggest difference has just been, the lack of Texas Federal Wellness as a sponsor for RGV FC Toros on the shirt. So Johnny says jersey looks good. Abraham says that jersey is straight fire. Here's the thing about the pictures that came out and this particular example. So I talked about it in the Stampede chat, right? About the placement of the Reliant Energy logo on the kits. The placement on the pictures that came out on social media, as well as the press releases, has the Reliant sponsorship down lower, a little bit more towards the stomach. That really caught me off guard. It looks wrong. Honestly, to me, it's like one of those, that's like, I told the guys, I love the kit, but there's just one detail that I just don't like at all, and it was that. It's the placement of the Reliant Energy logo. I'm not sure exactly why that is. Could be, I know I was mentioned that a lot of the USL kits had that similar placement. So kind of begs the question, and maybe it's a new guidelines by the USL Championship that they want the sponsor logos a little bit lower on the team's jerseys. So this is the away kit. This is actually I don't want to say it's a teamwork. Well, yeah, it's a teamwear kit because this isn't something custom made for RGV FC. This is something that you can pretty much buy off of the catalog. And obviously it's not going to have, the logos and all anything like that. But it is something that's kind of like available for teams to go in and buy. I really like it. It's just something different. The home kit as well. It's another teamwear. So the details about the home kit, it's blue. It's blue. It retains the classic. I guess you can already call it traditional color scheme of the blue shirt, the white shorts, and the blue socks. It's also ultra weave like last season. It has a design, and I'll go ahead and show you that. I forgot that I had that. So let's take a look. So as you can see right here, this is the home kit, and this is where you can see the placement that I'm telling you. of the Reliant logo, how it looks a lot lower than usual before. So the home kit is the Team Cup teamwear jersey. It is ultra weave, so it is going to be as thin and as lightweight as last year's home kit. Although this jersey looks a little bit more traditional when it comes to the collar, when it comes to the design of it and of itself. As you can see, it also contains a kind of like a modern graphic that is sublimated in the front of the jersey. The sides have a perforated panel that helps with breathability. And in the back, you can see on the cover with Andy Jr.'s back, you can see that it is plain Jane. There is no graphic in the back. Now, once again, Reliant is a monochrome white. The Lone Star logo actually has, the traditional colors, but unlike last season, this season it also adds the motto of the Valleys Bank into the logo. At least that's what you can see on the images that have been released by the club. Overall, I would say, you know what, maybe an 8. I would give the jersey an 8. I think in and of itself, I think it's an 8.5. We have to remember that this is technically Puma's final year with RGV FC. I wouldn't be surprised if they're currently in negotiations for an extension, or maybe they're in negotiations with other kit makers for see what kind of offers they give the Toros. I know Meiba is actually hitting hard in the USL Championship. I know Las Vegas Lights has them, Oakland Roots has them, and they actually left Puma for Meiba. Meiba is I believe they're from Catalonia. I mean, that could be a possibility if they're trying to gain a market here in the United States. Harry says, any thoughts of RGV going with Charly like San Diego? Oh, I would love it. And I think I've said it before on the show. I would personally love if RGV goes with Charly. And this is why. Number one, because I know in Mexico, they tend to be a little bit more affordable compared to, or at least in the early years, they were more affordable than kits made by Adidas, Nike, or Puma. And I think number two is Charly. If you guys have seen their kits at Liga MX, as well as San Diego's last year, they actually took the time to custom make jerseys tailored to San Diego, to Santos, to Xolos, to even, I don't know if you guys remember Club de Cuervos, that Netflix series. They became that fictitious club's official kit sponsor, and they made them custom designs specifically for that fictitious team. So they're dedicated to give every team their utmost attention that are under Charly. Number 3, Charly is very active, or the brand is very active on social media, especially on Twitter. For example, if you guys follow Charly Futbol on Twitter, you would notice that every time a team that wears Charly gear, whether it's, like I said, Santos, the Liga MX All-Stars, even San Diego, what they do is like they share and kind of give updates on their scores on, what is going on. If a player that has a sponsorship with Charly scores or something, well, they give an update on there, and they are very interactive as well. So could you imagine how having a social media presence in Mexico like Charly can do to expand the Toros in Mexico, in Monterrey, in Guadalajara, in Mexico City, etc., etc., etc. When San Diego released their kits last year with Charly, there were a lot of tweets or there were a lot of replies to Charly's tweet where they actually presented the kit from Mexico, asking, one, when they played, where they can see the games, and number two, where they would be able to buy the San Diego Loyal jerseys. Can you imagine having something like that for RGV? That would grow the brand, or potentially grow the brand in Mexico, right? And you know that RGV's fan base here in the Valley tends to be Mexican American, right? So you would be hitting like your expected demographic, right? For the culture of the El Valle, for the culture of RGVFC. I think compared with Puma, yes, Puma does have a more international reputation compared to Charly, but you will never see Puma give the attention to detail, the promotion to the USL, to the teams that are under the Puma brand at a global level, like maybe Charly can do in Mexico. Now, let's be honest. Out of the 3 years that we have been with Puma, 6 out of the 7 kits that we've worn under Puma, home, away, and of course the Turtle third kit, only 1 was technically customized. And it turns out that this year they recycled that design for San Antonio's third kit, right? So was it ever fully customized for RGVFC? No. Now the question is, would Puma or would Charly be able to offer more money for RGV compared to Puma, compared to Adidas, compared to Nike, maybe compared to Maybach, as I mentioned before? That's going to be the biggest thing right there. So personally, I would like it. I would really like it. I don't know what you guys think. There were a lot of people throughout the years mentioning that the quality of the cloth of Charly's designs wasn't that great. Now, I personally have a Charly kit of Club de Cuervos, the black one with the white and the red stripe. That kit, the Charly logo here, after the washing multiple times, started to peel off. But that was a bunch of years ago since I bought that kit. It could be that in the last couple of years since, their quality has improved with the jerseys. At the end of the day, it's which company offers the most money for RGVFC. Because I can tell you that before Puma was announced, Charly was a serious contender for the official kit maker or kit provider for RGVFC. We would have been the first U.S. team with Charly. At the end, they decided to go with Puma. We'll see how it goes. I think now that Charly has kind of showcased their talents in the United States, we might see a couple of kind of teams follow suit. I think the kits, the Toros kits, the new ones, they're what, like the $90-some for the authentic? So I'm guessing it'll probably be like $80-some for the replica, which basically the only difference is the replicas would only have the Reliance sponsor up front, and neither the USL badge nor the Lone Star National Bank sponsor in the back would be in the replicas. It would only be on the authentic. So that's basically the only difference. It's not like, for example, Adidas, where the replicas are made with what is it called? Aero ready technology, which is a little bit thicker, right? And the actual authentic jerseys are made with heat ready technology, which is a lot thinner, a lot lighter, etc., etc., etc. For RGV, it's basically the same kit. You just add the official USL badge, and you add the other sponsors. In the case of last year, it would add the Lone Star National Bank logo and the Texas Federal Health, or what I forgot what the sponsor was. I mentioned it a while ago, but you get the point.